Okay, good morning, boys and girls. Today we are going to work on page 203 and 204 in our homework and remembering book, and that's the yellow one. And on the front it says homework and remembering units 3 and 4. So I'm going to work with you on page 203. When we get to page 204, there's some time. I'll walk through a couple problems to review how to answer, and I'll tell you which problems I want you to work on. So hopefully this video isn't too long. We're going to walk through this first set together, and then I'll have you work on 3 and 4 on your own on this side. So let's select a pencil here. Our directions say to read each problem, then follow the directions below. Follow the directions below. Okay, here is an addition word problem. So it already tells us right here what we're going to do, right? What are we going to do? We are going to add. Okay, so solve the problem. So let me change the color of highlighter. At the school play, 194 people attended the show on the first night. 185 people attended the show on the second night. How many people attended the show 2 nights? Okay, so we have 2 nights, 194 one night and 185 the next. So as what we have to do is we have to add those together. So as what our problem's going to look like is 194 plus 185. Okay, so I'm over here, going to come over here and show my work, right? And see how I'm leaving space? When I like to add and subtract, I like to space my numbers out to give me a little more room, right? So we're going to start over here in the ones column, right? 5 plus 4 equals 9. Okay, so now we're going to come over here. 9 plus 8. What is 9 plus 8? 9 plus 8 is 17. So we're going to put our 7 and we're going to carry our 1. Now, remember, you can put it down here if you want. But remember, I lose it when I put it there. I like to put it at the top. So now I come at the top and I can just count 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I have 1 plus 1 plus 1 gives me 3. So it's 379, and we need to label people. Okay, now here comes the tricky part. Write a subtraction word problem related to the addition word problem, then find the answer. So, what we want to do is just write this problem backwards. Okay? So, we're going to start with the big number because we're going backwards. Okay? So, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to write 379 people attended the show. And see, what I'm doing is I'm just stealing this, but instead of on the first night, I'm going to say attended the show. Oh, I really misspelled show there because I got attended the show how do we want to word it? Attended the show on both nights, or attended the show the first and second night? The first and second night. Right? If 194 people attended the first night, how many attended the second night? Okay, so instead we're going to start out with combined on those 2 nights. So we have 379, and again I'm going to space it out so I can see, and then we're going to subtract our 194, right? So 4 subtract 9 would be 5. 9, I'm going to take 9 away from 7. I can't, so I have to regroup. I have to take 100 away. Now I have 9, 17 minus 9. Wow, struggling this morning. 17 minus 9 is going to give us 8, and 2 minus 1 is our 185. And then we're going to say 185 people. Okay, so all I did was take the problem and flipped, because you see we ended up with all 3 numbers. We have 194, which we had in our problem, 185, which we had in our problem, but we started with 379 that was our answer. Okay, so now I want you to try. This time you are going to actually start with a subtraction word problem. So you're going to start out subtracting, and then you're going to turn it into an addition problem. Okay? All right. Good luck, and let's see how you do. Okay? Now, when you're done with that problem on the remembering page, is what I want you to do is I want you to do number 1. Nope. We are going to do number 2, number 4, and number 6. Okay? Now, if you need more help, you can do number 1 and 3 and 5 if you need more practice. We're actually going to do number 1 together so we know how to do this right. We're going to write the times as minutes after an hour and before an hour. So we've got 2 lines. We're not going to write the time on down here. We're going to write minutes after and before. So we're going to have 2 answers. Now, the thing that makes this a lot easier for me is if I write the time at the top of the clock. Okay, so we're after 6 but before 7, because here's our hour hand, right? So we're after 6 but before 7. So I know that we're 6 o'clock, and then we're going to count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. But now we have to look. What is this pointing at? Right there. So we are at 25, 26, 27. So we're at 6:27. So I like to start with the after the hour first because it's a little bit easier. Okay. So see how we wrote 6:27 at the top. So I'm just going to take that number and flip it around. I'm going to write 27 minutes, and you can abbreviate minutes if you want to. You can write min if you want to. So we're going to 27 minutes after 6. Okay? 27 minutes after 6. Now, the reason why I like to start with the after, it's really easy. I just take my 2 numbers and I flop them around. I move my 27 and my 6 over so I can have 27 minutes after 6, which makes it pretty easy. Now, is what I like to do is what comes after 6? 7. and then I'm going to change this after to before, and then I'm going to have my minutes. So now all I have to do is find out before. Okay, so let me get rid of that. Okay, get rid of this. So is what we're going to do is I like to start at the 12 and I'm going to count backwards. Okay, so from here to here, right, is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and now we're going to count 31, 32, 33. So 33 minutes before 7. So in 33 minutes it will be 7 o'clock. So now is what I want you to do is I want you to try that on 2, on 4, and 6. 3 problems. If you do really well on it, you can move on. If you struggle, then go ahead and try 3 and 5. Okay? Now, down here, don't worry about stretch your thinking, but I would like you to do 4 of these problems. Okay? And then if you want a little more practice, you can do 8 and 11. Okay? All right. Good luck today, guys.